Hello, my name is host Eric, and I want to talk today about a disorder known as borderline personality disorder. And I want to talk about typing somebody who has this, if it's possible, or if this relates to cognitive function at all. So, borderline personality disorder is best summed up as I hate you, don't leave me, where there's an ongoing process of both pushing somebody away while simultaneously demanding that they attend to you. And it results in lots of very noisy conflict, of need for a lot of reassurance of that you love them, and to be told and given lots of symbols that you care about them and value them a lot. There's a high degree of need on an emotional level that can't really be met by any normal relationship or healthy relationship. So I'm curious if any of you have any insights as to how the behaviors I described might correlate with cognitive functions, or how one might go about typing somebody who displays these behaviors. I can give some additional background, which is that these individuals tend to have suffered from inadequate affection when they were little, or at least that seems to be a correlate, and they display an inability to understand things except through a feelings angle. It might correlate with a particularly damaged INFP. I don't know. They tend to always side with the perceived victim in an instance, regardless of the individual's behavior or issues of justice or anything like that. So, well, I mean, which is their real personality? Sounds like a complicated ordeal for get someone with that. Well, oh, to type someone with that. They, I guess they kind of do have two personalities. One of them is fairly worry-warty about details and specifics of finances and stuff like that, and the other one is fairly stereotypically ESFP. Not that ESFPs are actually like the stereotype, but we know what that stereotype is like, and I would say they're kind of like that. Um, it depends on the context. Of course, if alcohol's involved, they're a lot more like the ESFP type. I mean, I think that's a big issue as well. I mean, it's somebody that I know that I've been close to for a long time as a friend. I feel sad at the state of their being. I know that it has a lot to do with alcohol problems and stuff like that. But there's only so much any individual can do for any other individual regarding that. And in fact, most attempts to proactively do something tend to result in backfiring. It's best to not try to push on people with that kind of problem, but rather to pull away and remind them that if they choose, that you're available for them, because that's really the best thing you can do. But regardless, It's something I think about quite often typing this individual. I would guess, based on the fact that she always sides with the person getting dumped on, even if it's like a tyrant, right? You'd say, like, Kim Jong il is such an awful tyrant. And she'd be like, oh, don't. He's probably going through hard times too, or something like that, you know? It's ridiculous. So, based on that, I would guess possibly INFP if I had to type, but so many conflicting things to look at, it's hard to say.
Hey, borderline personality disorder is actually associated with a hyperactive, like left amygdala. That's a left brain thing and is related to extroverted feeling malfunction.
Interesting.
Now,
What's also
it
interesting is this
is.
woman's really smart, really good TI when she chooses to use it, but I don't think she values it.
Uh, but the, the what you said about defending someone, no matter who they are, as if they're getting dumped on, that would be left brain feeling, because left brain feeling doesn't recognize individual people. It like recognizes a single type of person and can't really tell people apart just by itself. And so it's
Interesting.
like very egalitarian, and if it goes purely that way, then it can't tell a dictator away from a nice person if they're getting dumped on.
So it's like the TI FI thing with the FI always winning.
No, it's more like FE without any FI. It's
Oh,
like you
okay.
like pure egalitarian without any personal.
Without individuation.
Right.
Okay, so universality without any individuation is bad. It's not like the ultimate goal that I tend to present it as in some sense, because of course if you have universality without any individuation, then there's no reason anymore to prefer the protections for the individual that the universal allows. So that's an interesting thing to note. Interesting argument chain. I'll have to explore further in my thinking when I come across it again in debate or something. Uh,
But the other thing is that borderline personality is like 75% women, and women are mostly, like disproportionately also feeler types. So it could be, who knows? I'm not sure.
hmm. Okay, well, I did note in the obviously very mentally healthy and happy, from what I could tell, INFP that I spoke with the other night, that she would not kill that troll. She just was not going to kill the troll no matter what. And um, I find that same sort of principle to work here with this individual. So that would be my guess.
Well, I didn't see that video, but it could be like different mechanisms coming to a similar conclusion. It could be, I didn't see that video, but it could be like she has a rule for herself that she never hurts anything.
Well, it's really interesting because she's willing to. One of her solutions is to bribe the troll to go take up and do business at the other village downstream. So
So
she's
wait a
okay.
minute,
She's okay with
she just
that.
didn't want to see it.
Basically, yeah, she didn't want to. She didn't want to see it, I guess, right? Because she was fine with, like, she tried to bribe the troll to go downstream and take up business at the village downstream and not bother her village anymore. And the troll went down there and he's like, "Well, sorry, there's another troll there, and I can't go there." So because he already has the dibs on that spot. And so then she went and sent out to the other village to find out how they dealt with the problem. And they came into town and they said, and they were carrying a big bag, and they said, "Here's how we dealt with the problem." They poured the other troll's head onto the ground, and they said, "We'd be happy to dispatch of your troll similarly if you'd like." And she said, "No." Oh,
I
right.
don't get it.
Yes, it would hurt the other village. She didn't want to see blood. Obviously, she couldn't bring herself to be personally responsible for the violence. It's just that simple. She's basically a pacifist, and she probably feels as though the moral culpability of the troll is the troll's moral culpability. She's responsible for her own village. That's her moral culpability. The moral culpability of the other village is to do what they were going to do with the troll. It's not her problem. She's just worried about avoiding the violence herself, and it doesn't matter if she makes it somebody else's problem or not. It's pretty crazy. I really got a kick out of that episode because I did everything in my power to get her to kill that troll. She would not kill it. Yeah. So, what were we talking about this video?
You had mentioned that you were wondering about borderline personality disorder.
Oh, right. That's right. That's when we got onto INFP is why, because I think she probably is an INFP, but it doesn't necessarily mean that INFPs are more likely to have borderline personality disorder. I don't know if she is in fact or not because she displays a lot of different distinct behaviors that are. I mean, they're confusing. Yeah, they're conflicting or they're misleading to each other or something like that. So.
Well, MBTI is kind of for like normal.
Normal people, right? Okay, well, it's interesting to note, and I think, of course, that a lot of these problems are exacerbated terribly if you have a drinking problem, and so there's that issue as well. Any other people would like to comment on this topic? I just want to agree with Eric. Very interesting information indeed, Mega Bro. Thank you for sharing it with us as always. And thank you at home for watching Talking with Famous People.